Would you be in front of my face?
The Inter-American Development Bank believes its latest $160 million line of credit to help Guyana strengthen its healthcare network is more than justified, especially when one takes into account the findings of a 2022 nationwide assessment of 330 health facilities. The IDB, in one of its loan documents, said the survey found that many of the facilities require infrastructure rehabilitation, construction and/or upgrade, and equipment replacement or provision. The financial institution said 20% of the buildings had no electricity, and only 60% of buildings received water continuously during operating hours. In addition, 94% of the facilities did not receive treated water. And given the unsatisfactory handling of the local oil and gas sector by the government and their continued posture in not renegotiating the lopsided 2016 PSA, local stakeholders are calling on the government to make public, as soon as possible, the contents of any new PSA to ensure better returns for Guyana. Economist and youth policy advisor to the office of the opposition leader Elson Lowe has thus contended that as preparatory works are set for the auctioning of the country's available oil blocks, government should begin engaging the public on what will and should be provided in any new PSA to not only give citizens a say, but to ensure better returns in country from the nascent industry. And amid pressure from transparency activists on the release of data relating to oil production here, the Ministry of Natural Resources has made it clear that an existing portal is in place that publishes the quantity of oil produced. Minister Vikram Bharat, who is responsible for the sector, had promised to have his staff share the reports. Yesterday, a link on the website was shared with Kaieteur. It was explained too that the portal was launched in the first quarter of 2021 under the Petroleum Management Program. This was not known to the media and other stakeholders. And in other news, with over 42,000 cases detected in 95 countries, Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony on Monday confirmed that Guyana has recorded its first monkeypox case over the weekend. The minister, in a brief interview yesterday, said that the country's first case is a Region 4 man in his 50s, who has since been placed in isolation at the Ocean View Hospital. The minister explained that persons who the patient has been in contact with are now quarantined. With the first case detected, the minister noted that they are taking all necessary measures and advised the general public not to panic. Meanwhile, amid growing calls for an independent and international investigation into the allegations of cover-up into the murder of businessman Ricardo Paper Shorts Fagundes, President Ali on Monday announced that the Barbados headquartered regional security system has been asked to review the probe thus far. Earlier this year, member countries of the regional security system agreed to sign a protocol that would see Guyana's accession. The RSS member states are Antigua and Barbuda, Dominica, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Kitts and Nevis, Grenada, and Barbados. And to wrap things up, the International Decade for People of African Descent Assembly, Guyana, has refuted claims by Vice President Barrett Jagdeo that the organization's leaders have been pocketing state funds to support Afro-Guyanese and is adamant the statesman is being misleading about the agency's spending, given that the administration would have launched an investigation into the organization's affairs just a year ago. And that brings us to the end of this morning's newscast. I'm Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands. Advertise today and watch your dollar grow. Call us on 225-8465 or 226-8210 today.
Welcome to the National Outlook on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. It's Tuesday, August 23rd. I'm GHK Lal. Thank you for joining and listening to Kaieteur Radio. We've got a story that's been drawing the attention of Guyanese because it's hitting us like a storm. Top cop more interested in Bascom rather than investigating police cover-up. Bribery in Paper Shorts murder, lawyer says. That was Mr. Nigel Hughes, a respected Guyanese attorney, a man who's pretty wise, who knows what he's talking, happens to be a friend of mine. A cop, we all know the story, a Detective Sergeant Bascom came out and said that this is what went down in a murder on Main Street, outside of a popular night spot. My problem is this. A man is killed, and that's a sad situation. We don't ever be frivolous about that. But a man is killed in front of the president's residence. His family's there, he's there. He was not in danger, but it's too close. I will say something that a lot of people may take offense to, but I have to say it. Killings happen all the time, and murders and executions. Not as often, but murders happen. If this has got to be done by the parties that are at war, then do not do it so close to the president's home. Don't do it so close to anybody's home. But where is the regard for the presidency and the president himself? I should not be talking about this, but the people who are close to the president should be talking about this. That includes you and others. But I'm making it my duty to say that. But here it is now that the cop has come out and said, here is what's going on behind the scenes. We went to arrest a man, and this is what happened. He's connected to big people, and millions have passed, and senior people are involved. And now Nigel Hughes is saying to the Guyanese public that the police, we have the crime chief saying this man has missed these areas, and the commissioner acting is saying that there is no cover-up. I hate to say this, my brothers and sisters, but I have to. Where it comes to trust and confidence in the Guyana police force, we are in bad shape. I am. When the PNC government is in power, PPP people complain bitterly. When the PPP government is in power, PNC people complain bitterly. The common denominator, the common thread in all of this is that the Guyana police force goes on in the same way, where it's being manipulated, where it's being politicized by one party or the other, and this is what is going on here again. We've got claims of corruption and cover-up in the police force for a murder that happened very close to the president's office. Now, according to Mr. Hughes, Bascom, the messenger, is being targeted. Instead of his message being scrutinized, taken apart, pursued, what we have is Mr. Bascom himself is being taken aim at for daring to open his mouth. When we go about law enforcement like this in this country, I think we've got a problem, and we're going to create bigger problems for ourselves. There is no end in sight. We have got oil here, more oil coming, more people coming, gamblers, sophisticated scam artists. We need our police force to be professional. We need for it to be competent and efficient, and we need it to be on the top of its game. This cannot continue. Unfortunately, I think it's water on duck's back, and what I'm saying here is going to fall on deaf ears, but it has to be said. I have to do my part. We all have to do our part. We need a functioning professional police force so that we can all be a little safer and feel a little bit more secure. It starts with having a clean police force through and through. I'm GHK Lal on Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 and 99.5 FM. Thank you for listening to the National Outlook.